Hi, I'm Harrison from KidsCalling.com, and today I'm presenting Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown.
Excellent. Right, go on, go into the game and we can carry on playing. Right, okay. I have to say, you know, it's beginning of the year, sometimes it's a bit slow in the gaming world, but this is quite an exciting title, isn't it?
Yeah, it's...
You know, so very loosely, what is the game?
So the game is, as you can tell, it's a game about like fighter jets and flying and all that kind of good stuff.
Yep.
And yeah, basically it's kind of set in this fictional continent called I think it's Usia or something.
Okay.
And, sorry, there's a lot of names as I said in the last one, like that end with Sia. So there's and basically Osea, who are basically who you're playing as.
Yep.
Are the they're basically like the army, and they've got like a lot of power over the world.
Okay.
And Eurasia are another country who basically wage war.
Okay.
And they basically commit like a bunch of attacks, blowing up a bunch of air bases and stuff. And the world goes into a panic basically. And you play as a so at the moment I'm playing as I think an Osea fighter, but you also play as like the story like revolves around this woman who basically wrong time, wrong place, and because she's basically she made her own jet which can go like many times past the
Nice.
the sound barrier, and she's basically doing, but she can't turn or anything. In her words, it's a drag racing jet basically.
Okay.
And she's testing it out, and this massive fighter dogfight occurs, and it's basically the starting off of the war.
Okay,
So she basically goes into like a prison and gets taken in by Osea.
Yep.
And her father was an Osea pilot who died in the previous battle between Eurasia and Osea.
Okay.
And basically she gets taken in, and they basically kind of capture her, and she has to like climb the ranks and kind of escape from Osea.
And it's basically lots of missions, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, picking the Tom Cruise movie, but it's basically Top Gun, the video game, isn't it? For want of a better way of putting it. With the actual controls of the actual game, is it easy to pick up when you first start playing? Because you haven't played the others in the past. It's the first one, isn't it?
It isn't easy to pick up. I think that, I mean, this is the first one I've ever played. So I think that once you get like relatively, it's quite. Once you get it though, you get it. It
comes naturally.
Might take a while, but like once you get the kind of target, I think the targeting system was the worst in terms of being most difficult to learn.
Yeah.
But I think that,
so not worse. It's just that it's the hardest.
I phrased that wrong. Yeah.
It's the hardest thing to pick up.
But it becomes quite fun. It's definitely like even I'd say I've got it down pretty much. And but like even once you've got it down, it's still quite difficult, but in a good way. It's really fun.
It's part of the fun is actually working out how to do things.
It's really fun.
I guess it's if you're a fighter pilot, there are certain thrills with things that come with learning how to fight, and they've tried to keep it as realistic as possible, haven't they? What sort of modes have you actually got with the game?
So you've got this, which is campaign.
Yep.
You've got multiplayer.
Yep.
And then you've also got VR.
Okie dokie, excellent.
And multiplayer is what I'm excited about. And what I've been. Like,
and you can play online as well, can't you?
So that's what I'm saying by multiplayer.
Yeah.
So it's online multiplayer. It's really cool in terms of like fighting against other people, like getting in squads, doing like.
We've seen quite a few of the videos. I mean, there's all kinds of battles you can actually do, isn't there?
And there's loads of different ranks you can do. So like you can become like I think it goes all the way to like commander in chief from private. So it's. Well, I'm not sure. I've forgotten what the first one is, but I think the last one.
It's kind of like Fortnite in the sky. Yeah, for want of a better way of putting it. Yeah.
I think it actually is a battle royale. Thing in it as well. So it's really, really cool, honestly.
Excellent. And obviously, I mean, you're playing at the moment on a 4K TV.
It looks amazing.
I mean, I don't know if you can get the gist of it from the footage I'm recording right now, but firsthand, it's beautiful, isn't it?
The engine, the.
I mean, what we're looking at right now.
Water, like I'll show you as I go into the clouds, and then I'll come out. So you see like the water's kind of coming up on the screen, and if I was you'll see it better if I come out once I come out of the clouds. You see like the sun.
Yeah.
Like I'll show you a bit of like the actual land. It literally just looks like I don't know how they get it like looking so realistic. Honestly.
Certainly, I mean it's a beautiful game to
I
watch.
got sidetracked and now I'm about to go off course.
Oh, okay, I'll let you get back to playing. Right, now obviously you mentioned the VR. I'll tell you what, let's have a little look at the VR, shall we? We'll have a look at that now.
Yeah.
Right, so you're playing the VR version of the game now, which is an extra in there. So what do you actually do in it then, Hag?
So in this you get into dogfight on no health. So you get into like dog fights, that kind of thing. You basically take it follows the same similar thing, but there's not as many missions.
Okie dokie.
There's still a lot of missions, but like not.
So it's like a miniature version of the full game.
Exactly. Yeah.
But now this is kind of a loaded question because I've played it myself.
Yeah.
What's it like inside that headset right
it's
now?
It's incredible. I mean, I think you got a bit more effective in terms of you were actually getting scared that you were. But you've got a fear of heights and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like...
It really feels like you're in the cockpit, doesn't it?
It's amazing in terms of some of the views you can get. So if I go to, I think it's about 10,000 altitude.
Yeah.
You can like look at the Earth like from the atmosphere and stuff. It's really...
And also when you go into the clouds, in the same way when you're in like an aeroplane and the water starts going on the window, that happens as well. It's pretty spectacular, isn't it?
I've just gone up here to, I think this is 10. And you actually lose control, Paul.
And you look at that.
I completed the mission.
So when you actually start the actual game, Hag, what actually happens?
So when you start the game, you get given like it follows a different pilot. So it follows a completely different pilot to the actual story mode. The campaign. And so it's your Mobius one.
Yep.
And you are basically like you're like the best pilot. Like you're kind of you've been sent in, and you're like not a prodigy. You're just like the really skillful person. Like you're the real deal, pretty much. And you basically have to stop. So it takes place in a fictional continent called, I think it's there's a lot of seers in this one. It's like, I think it's called Ushia, and the military called Osea, which is who you work for in this, are trying to take out Euregia, which are basically a country which are waging war, and Osea are basically the people who are they're trying to protect them, but they're also a bit so you take part as like one of the pilots for Osea, and it's just really fun. You get into a bunch of fights and stuff. You get to land. You get to see the beautiful.
The taking off is pretty cool, isn't it? When you actually go off. So Hag, take me through the actual controls for the actual VR version.
So basically, so RT is to this is to like go forward and accelerate.
Yep.
LT is to slow down.
Yep.
X is to fire like your machine gun. Circle is to fire your missiles.
Yep.
And square is to swap between, because you have two like powerful weapons.
Yep.
So as your missiles. Triangle is to like kind of zoom in and out of your map, because your map basically depending on how far the enemies are, depends on how far like you want your radar to be.
Yep.
So this is to pull up, and then so you obviously, like most plane and helicopter games, you push down to go up and up to go down, and that's also how you move right and left.
Yep.
And then you have R1 and L1. You press those together simultaneously, and it basically levels you off. So say you're like nose diving into the sea. It basically just kind of autopilots you, so like you do this.
Nice. And have you got any tips for anyone? Because it took you a little bit of time to get your head around it, but once you had, you were fine. But have you got any little tips to sort of speed the process up for people?
That was very much also because this was the first one of these games. Obviously, this is the seventh one. I mean, it's obviously a bit different because it's now VR.
Yeah.
But I think basically when you're tracking on, like, with the missiles, at first I just thought that I'd fire with my machine gun, and I didn't realise that all of the missiles could track on. So as you can imagine, I was like missing every single shot and being like, why can't I hit these?
Yeah.
But you actually have to be a bit patient and not just boost and go like 3,000 miles an hour. like at them with machine gun. You have to like kind of track them a bit and like make sure your radar's on them for a while until it tracks them.
Yep.
So you have to be. I know this is like the most cliche thing. But literally, patience definitely is the
Yeah.
thing. It's like in an actual fight, you just need to like make sure that you give enough time for your like radar and kind of make sure that you're all centered and stuff and like focusing completely on this play.
Nice, excellent. Right, we'll go back to the other game now, the other version of the game, and we'll go from there. Right, we're back in the game now. Okay, the standard version of the game. I mean, it's a Peggy 12 game.
Yeah.
What sort of age do you think could actually play this game?
I think it's hard because there's the only thing in it that I'd really say that was warranting anything that's why it is a 12 is that there's a bit of fruity language. That's pretty much there's no in terms of violence and stuff. There's nothing there. So I think that if they watch movies and stuff, because like these like
12A type movies.
Avengers, yeah.
The content's no different to a 12A movie, is it?
I think 10 upwards, I think, would be completely fine.
Which is probably the age going to see things like Avengers and that.
Exactly.
What about age-wise, as far as actually picking up the controls quickly?
They're quite complicated, but as I said, it's the modern gaming
youngster.
Youngster. They're going to pick it up if
exactly.
you just keep at it, you'll more than easily get it. It's probably, as I said, it's probably more just because I haven't played any of the others. I think that
it took you a little bit longer to actually get your head around it. What's your favourite thing about the game?
I know. Well, trust me. A couple of days ago, I would not be saying this, but I think the actual kind of you feel quite like proud of yourself once you get to the actual level where you can control it, and it's really in terms of I know. If you are a pilot, I'm sorry, I'm probably getting this so wrong, but from someone who's never ever even been near a jet engine or like a jet, I think it just feels so realistic, and it's just such a beautiful game. It just feels like you're in one, like especially with the VR as well. Like definitely, if you have one, definitely don't sleep on the VR. It's really really cool.
Spectacular, isn't it? It looks so real. Who do you think would like this game?
I think everyone who's I think everyone who's fans of kind of planes. If you just love action games, if you like, I think it's got a really wide kind of target audience. Yeah, that's why.
And there's a lot in the package, isn't there? I mean, the fact you've got the VR. I mean, how do you find the VR?
The VR, although they do kind of transfer. Like when you're playing, if you're good at this, it won't necessarily transfer all the way to VR because it's very different in terms of like sensitivity, that kind of thing. Firing with the.
This is easier to play, isn't it, than the VR version? Yeah. But I suppose that's intentional, probably.
I mean, is it? I think at first I definitely found this one easier, but I think now that I've played VR for a while, I think it's just getting used to it because obviously, like I've played a lot of games where obviously I'm not using VR. I played a hell of a lot more games. On controller and a TV or a monitor, and it's all very. I think once you get a head around it, I think they're pretty much similar. But yeah,
can you see this being a game that you carry on playing to complete?
Definitely,
completion.
I think that I really enjoy it. There's so much for people who love planes. There's so much in terms of it will give you facts based on what the planes are, and like they're kind of when they were first made, like little kind of quick facts and stuff. I think I can definitely see myself. This is a really cool effect as well. It basically shows you throughout the entire time of you playing it, shows you every single movement you make along the entire map.
Nice.
So, and it's really really cool. I love this effect after you actually like.
Obviously, you've been playing. I mentioned that you've been playing this all weekend. This is a different save. You're basically got further in this, is so that we don't ruin the game for people. Yeah.
It's a cool. It's like there's a lot of like different kind of twists. It's a cool game.
Excellent. So, do you think all kids would enjoy this game?
Yes, Rico, definitely.
Yeah. Do you think mummies and daddies will enjoy it?
Yes, Rico. Definitely.
I haven't had a chance to play the main version. I've played the VR version, and even your tummy goes when you go up in the air. It's crazy. So, if you're going to give it stars out of 5, how many would you give it then, Hag?
For 5.
Excellent. Any last words?
Great game. Definitely get it. I need to get to the next mission. Come on.
Go on. You go into it.